Hi everyone, welcome to the CloudHired. In this session, we will go through Docker interview questions and answers 2025 edition, including real-time troubleshooting scenarios and complete Dockerfile explanation line by line. If you like the full document, subscribe and email me. I will share with you directly. And let's get started. See here, what is the Docker? What is the Docker? Docker is a containerization platform used to build, ship, and run the application in lightweight containers. It ensures consistency across the environment from development to production. In this, see, let's say normally in the Java application, they will build jar files. Okay, in any other application, if like Angular application, they will build the different format. So here, after, like, for example, if if you want to deploy any application, container application like microservices, first the thing is, first we have to build the Docker file. Docker file means once you build the Docker file, it gives like a image. That image we have to push into the in AW. If you go for AWS, we have to push into the ECR. If you go to Azure, you have to push AKS. So from there, we need to deploy into the either EKS or AKS. So Azure Kubernetes Service or AWS Kubernetes Service, we have to deploy that image. So here the main thing is the Docker is to build the image. Complete the Docker is a containerization platform used to build and ship to run the application in lightweight containers. The second thing, what is the difference between virtualization and containerization? Here the resource optimization in the main difference is, see, there is VMs, right? There is virtual machines. So if you want to allocate or if you want to block the resources, so we have to use the virtualization and containerization. See here, apart from that, the provisioning, boot up the time, and the containerization and a small size and VM to the VMs. Okay, see here, here we can based on the provisioning, we can scale and we can do the high availability to achieve easily. Containers are immutable in the nature. They work across the all environment. Basically, the build once and run anywhere. See, for example, that this one means build once and run anywhere means this can support any platform, either Mac or Windows or Linux, wherever platform you're going to deploy. Once you can build and you can run anywhere. Okay. Mm, How do you how do you do the port mapping to the container? The port mapping, we will use the -p option. See here -p option. Here this is the command docker run -p. Here the host port and the container port. Each container having the port number. So this, by using this command, you have to map the port to the container. How do you get a shell access of running container? See, the main thing is, if you want to short-term way to explain, you have to just you can explain by using execute command. Okay, if you want to explain completely, just you can explain docker execute -t and container ID. Okay, and okay, here -i means interactive mode and -t means terminal. What is the difference between run and CMD? Okay, run execute the instruction at the time of image creation. So when you create the image, the particular time only run command will execute. CMD command execute at the time of container creation. See here you can see the difference. Run is execute the time of image creation. Command is execute at the time of container creation. Image and container here. Run is used to install the packages or dependencies. CMD is used to define the command to run your application. I hope you understand very clear. What is the Docker file? Docker file is the declarative way of creating our own Docker images. We use Docker file instruction to create the image. Whatever we write in the Docker file will be executed during the image build time. Okay. When you create a Docker file, whatever you write, um, while during the image build time, each and everything it will execute. Okay. What you build Docker images? How you build Docker images? See, this is the main important command. Docker build -t here repository URL, username and image name and version. So when you going to create the based on this image, it will generate the image. Make sure the Docker file is available in the directory wherever you run in this command. Okay, that means the directory means here and the Docker file. See, whenever you're going to whenever you're going to run this command, make sure Docker file is available. Definitely, we it should be. See, if it's available only, it can run. Otherwise, it won't detect. See, this command it won't detect. Okay, this command won't detect. You must declare the Docker file. Okay, I will show you the how you declare the Docker file each and everything. Okay, what is the difference between add and copy? See, both add and copy files from the local file system to the container. See, both will do the same, but a little bit difference. Add and copy command copy the files from local file to system to the container. Okay, however, add has extra capabilities. Here, add can download files from the internet directly into the container. Okay, add can automatic extract the tar files to the container. Okay, best practice use copy instead of add. Okay, unless you need add external features. If you need any extra features, you can use add. If not required, you can use CP. Okay, what is the difference between CMD and entry point? Both are used to run the container, but there is a differences. CMD can override the entry point. Override entry point cannot. See, CMD can override entry point cannot override. If you want to try to override, you can use the entry point. If not, you can use the CMD. What is the difference between arg and environment? Arg is used to hold the variable at the build time. Okay, got it here. Arg command is used to hold the variable at the build time only. See, these values can be passed via command line using this hyphen bull hyphen arg key equal to value. Okay. Okay. Um, env variable used both at build or runtime. Difference arg variable are valid only during the build time. Env variable persist when the container is running. Best practices assign a arg values to environment variable for flexibility. Okay, for the best practice, what is saying, you have to assign the argument values to the environment variable. What are the Docker volumes? Docker volumes by default removes the data when the container is deleted. Okay, for persist data like databases, We use the value. They ensure that the data is lost after the container deletion. Okay. Okay. See, these are the comments. Docker volumes, create Docker volumes list. Okay. These are the comments you should learn. Okay. You can also mount the host directories directly. Docker run -v. If you want to mount, you can mount based on this command. Okay. Tell us the best practices you implemented while creating a Docker image. Okay. This is very, very important. Okay. See, use the lightweight base image like Alpine or Busybox. Okay. So Busybox. Oh, sorry. Use multi-stage builds to remove the unnecessary installation. Okay, avoid running as a root user. Use the volumes for stateful application. Use Docker Compose for orchestration. Use environment variable instead of hard coding. Use the dedicated custom networks. Don't keep secrets in the image. Scan for the vulnerables and limit the resources, CPU and RAM memory. Configure the health checks for app monitoring. Very good, excellent. Okay, what are the multi-stage builds? See here, multi-stage builds used to reduce the image size and remove the unnecessary dependencies. They allow using only Docker file with okay, multiple stages. See here, this is the stage one. See here, only within the single. See here, don't confuse anything. Multi builds means don't create the two files. Within the single file only, you have to create two stages. Okay, got it. Don't create the two files. Within the single file only, you have to create two stages. Here, oh sorry. Here, see, this means this is the JDK. You have to mention what, for example, if you are using the Java application, you have to mention the version name JDK and the Maven version name to build. This is the working directory. Let's say this is the working directory means, for example, you are building the Java app, right? Java application, right? Say once you build the Java application, once you generate the jar file, okay, that will go to the app folder, okay, and copy the from the app folder. You have the form.xml, okay, and run maven dependencies. Copy, see, src app and src, and run the packages, okay. Here the see, okay, sorry. See here, same stage 2, same working directory and copy from source. This is the source one, okay. This is the uh, destination path. I told you, right? Target folder. See here, when you generate the when you build the Java application, the jar file, it comes under app and target, and after the target it will come generate like app name dot jar. Here you can give any name, okay, based on that name. For example, if you have any e-commerce application, based on that name dot jar, it will generate, okay. Here the port number. Here dependency, entry point dependency, you have to add it. See here, clearly they explain. Stage one compiles the jar project by using Maven. Sorry, compiles the Java project by using Maven. Stage two copies only jar files, making the final image smaller. Okay, the final image smaller it will. And the thing, how do you troubleshoot the Docker container? Here, these are all very important. For example, if any Docker file is fail, if pod is fail, if node is fail, so based on this only you can find out the issues. Okay. Mm, container not starting, for example, Docker logs container ID you have to give. Then it will show the what are the issues. Image not fulling. So here Docker log after login you can mention the login details. Then it will show. And also see, these are all so whenever Docker, whenever if you want to troubleshoot the Docker containers, these commands all you can use. Port conflicts and disk full or not. See, if something is disk full, Docker system, this one you have to use through hyphen a. Okay. Network issues, if there is any network issues, you have to use the Docker network inspect and the network name you have to use. The main thing is this troubleshooting commands are very very important. Mostly interview questions they will ask. Okay, here what is the Docker Composer? Docker Composer is a YAML-based tool to manage the multi-container application. See here versions and the services. Okay, here the database details, all thing you can mention. This is to run all container together. You can use this command Docker hyphen compose hyphen sorry space up hyphen d. What are the security for best practices? Use the small base image, run the container as a non-root, and use the dot doc ignore files. For example, if you want to commit any files into the git repository, so unnecessary files we will use by using git ignore, right? So like that only here you have to use the git ignore. That means unnecessary files, whatever there, if you use the git ignore or doc ignore, it will avoid it to that means that will not allow to commit the changes. Don't hard code the credential. I told you many times, and also one more time also I'm saying, don't hard code credential. You have to use the environment variable. In AWS you have to use the secret manager or HashiCorp Vault, or in Azure you have to use the vault. Okay, and also use the base image scanner for 3V or Gripe. See, I am using 3V. See, because 3V is image scanning only. There is two tools like for a code scanning. You have to use the Spanner Cube. Once you commit the code, all changes. For code scanning and the smells and the lint errors or vulnerabilities, if you want to scan, you can use the by CI/CD process. CI/CD, when you're going to build the CI/CD pipelines, then you can use the Sonar Cube. When you are going to build the image, this is the image. When you're going to build the image, you have to use the 3V. Enable Docker content trust also. Okay. Limit the container privilege using the app armor. Okay. What are the some useful Docker commands? These are very very important. Okay. Docker ps hyphen a, Docker images, Docker inspects execute command, and Docker system PUA, Docker starts. These are all very very important commands. And also, see, when you're going to use the CI/CD pipelines, you can write the script something like that, like stages. Starting, you have to write the build, deploy, and also this is the image scanning. This is the after scanning the image. After scanning the image, this is the by using this command you have to push the image into the either Docker, sorry, either EKS or ECR. So here you have to mention the deployment file. So here this line only, after this line you have to mention the same line only, you have to mention the deployment file. That means after building the latest image, you can by using this like Docker push icon, Docker push my app colon latest, and also here like deployment dot YAML file, like that only you have to mention. Then this latest version, that one deployment the deployment file. So that this automatic image building and pushing the to the registry. How do you monitor the containers? See, Docker starts. Okay, to integrate Prometheus and Grafana. See, here Prometheus and Grafana is this is the monitoring tools. Prometheus means this will show completely like metrics like CPU utilization, memory utilization, how many pods running, nodes running, and also metrics. These are all it will show. Grafana means that will visualize. So normally prompts us just a raw data it will show. But Grafana what it will show as like a graph wise it will show. It's like a user it gives us a complete nice dashboards and user interface. It's a very nice visualization tool is the Grafana. And clean up the comments. These comments are need to clean up. By using these comments, you can clean up the unnecessary things. Explain the Docker Swarm briefly. Okay, Docker Swarm is a Docker's native orchestration tool for clustering multiple nodes. Okay, clustering multiple nodes. See, for example, clustering means see, for example, if you want to create a replicas, like if you want to increase the nodes, for example, currently running three nodes, so three pods. If you want to increase, you have to Docker service create a replica three means it will create a three nodes. Four means it will create a four nodes. Four yeah four pods. Sorry, four pods because this is like a scaling. Look, how do you secure the Docker in production? Restrict the oh, sorry. Here, here, restrict Docker socket access. Apply the CIC benchmark. Enable logging and editing. Sign and verify the images. Use read-only file system containers. I hope I hope you understand this end-to-end interview questions and answers. That's all for today. Docker interview questions and answers with the troubleshooting and Dockerfile explanation in 2025 edition. If you found this helpful, like, subscribe, and comment. And if you need this file, I will share to you full document and YAML configuration, code, everything. We'll see the next tutorial. Until that, thanks for watching and thank you for everything. And if you need like any suggestion, you can comment on the section. And also, if you want to give me any suggestions, also please provide me in the comment. I will rectify my mistakes whatever I did, and I will explain to you clearly. Thank you so much for everything.